Good evening, World History Cardinals. It's Miss Wall, and I'm coming to you today with a Sunday evening pre recorded video of Unit 4, Lesson 4, Protestant Reformation. The essential question for this particular lesson is who was Martin Luther and what objections did he have to practices in the Catholic Church? What was the outcome of his objections? The goal statement that you should write inside of your notes. I can describe the objections Martin Luther made against the church and explain how his actions inadvertently led to the creation of various Protestant denominations. In today's lesson, you will watch a video that will introduce you to Martin Luther and the Protestant Reformation. You will also read about the objections to the practices of the Catholic Church, and you'll answer questions about the reading. You will then have the opportunity to learn about the similarities between Martin Luther and Martin Luther King Jr. For our closure today, you will summarize the lesson. Let's go into the activities. The first thing you need to do for tonight is watch this video and take the quiz. There are 7 questions in this quiz. This particular video comes from National Geographic. Take notes, watch the video, absorb the information. This comes right after you've just been introduced to all the achievements of the Renaissance. And if you recall our class discussion, we talked about how now people were thinking freely and thinking for themselves, moving from a more two-dimensional mind frame to a more three-dimensional mind frame because we have invited in technology and science and math, and they are exploring new principles. Which brings us to our first activity. It says you will read and respond to the questions regarding Martin Luther and the Protestant Reformation. Do not copy and paste your answers from the internet. Use a different color when responding. You do need to do this assignment because it may count as we near progress report time. The questions look like this. You have a title and you have material on this document. But then you have a section that will allow you to type inside the document. I'm going to demonstrate to you how I would like the color to be changed so that I can see that when grading. In the event that you are doing this alone, you need to first make a copy of this document so that you will not spoil the original. All right, so you're going to read everything about Martin Luther and who he was. This first sentence is your main idea. A German monk who was a religious reformer who is credited for sparking the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century. We have a time, and we have a reason, an event, and we have who he is. If there are any words in bold print that you do not know, please use the online textbook, which would probably end up being Module 15, to answer those questions for you. You would put these answers for these words in your notes, not on the sheet. As you continue to read down, you'll understand why Martin Luther was so angry. Okay? You see words like indulgences and 95 Theses. Make sure you read this part carefully so that when you answer the questions, you will answer them correctly. Number 4 should say, how did Martin Luther King respond to the selling of indulgences? I fixed that. And it continues all the way down. So you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but there is a question number 13. Make sure you get all of the questions in there. All right, once you're done, save that material. And then let's go back to next to see the second activity. Activity number 2 would be something I would usually do in a Zoom room. However, we are trying to use this opportunity to catch up. Okay? So you have a quiz here, and there's a link provided to you already. That link is going to take you out to www.pbs.org. But first, you're going to read an article about Martin Luther and Martin Luther King Jr. What you may not realize is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., his name was not Martin Luther. His first name was Michael. He chose to legally change his name to Martin Luther in honor of the original German monk. He was so inspired by what he did in challenging the Catholic Church that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King changed his name to that. Okay? And so you'll read that and you'll note the similarities and you'll look at the very bottom of the reading. And there's a teeny tiny link that says quiz in the lower right hand corner. Click on that link and you're going to take a quiz based on that particular reading. Well, then you have to take the quiz, click submit, it automatically grades it, and then you take a screenshot of that score and then you send it to me here via Canvas. If it doesn't work out that you can send it through Canvas, you can always send me a message and put it in the comments, even in Canvas. You can send me a note through inbox in Canvas. Do not send it through school email. After you are done with this, you have closure. It's another 321 exit ticket. Explain the 3 reasons why Martin Luther wrote the 95 Theses. And you can get that from the worksheet you just did in activity number 1. Share 2 things you found interesting about the similarities between Martin Luther and Martin Luther King Jr. in activity number 2. And then ask yourself, is there still one question you have? Like maybe you didn't understand what happened that created the different denominations. Okay? So you need to answer that. So that needs to be put in the response board right here. And then you just post your reply and go to next. And you're going to find that you did it. Your task is complete. All right? That's where we stop for this particular lesson. And I'm going to go ahead and give you lesson number 5.